Welcome, everybody, back to the All World Cup 2024 round of 32 stage. This is a matchup I think a lot of people have been waiting for. The United States reigning 7-time champions, or 6-time champions. I actually forgot at this point. Anyway, welcome, everybody. I am Fiery Rage, going to be joined by, unfortunately, had to watch the Giants. Miles. How's it going, Miles?
You forgot
How's
the
Daniel
Yankees
Jones
as well.
Going? How's Daniel Jones going for you?
Don't talk to me about that, but one thing that you would know a bit about is being on this United States roster, as you've been on that United States champion roster, I think, since 2016, right? How many times have you been there?
I skipped 2022, but other than that, yes. This is the second year I'm not playing ever since 2016.
That's insane, man.
This roster is kind of messed up. Pretty much the same as last year, the one that won the championship. We have Decaden, obviously, replacing... Probably Vaxe is probably the closest comparison I can make. Actually, Utami replacing Vaxe is the closest comparison I can make there. Decaden kind of got robbed last year. I think it was a consensus of most people. But on the team this year, and newcomer Pez on the roster as well. Very interested to see how he performs in his first OWC match. Meanwhile, on the side of the opponents, Peru, their first OWC ever, I actually think. In terms of what they qualified for, at least. 2022, they played, but got 37th out of the top 32, so they did not make the cutoff. But they made it here, number 30, and this is going to be their first match, I think, so this is going to be very exciting to see. Unfortunately, they're up against the reigning champions for their first one, but...
Yeah, that's just how it happens. Unfortunately for Peru, have to go up against the giant, the beast, United States first. This kind of gives me shades of Turkey facing United States when they qualified for the first time in like either 2018 or 2019. But Peru, they're a team, they've always had that big carry player there with Arnold. The question was every year, is he going to have the help to get through qualifier stage? And this year he did, with some gargantuan performances from players like Pra and Hasaki, carrying their weight really well through qualifiers, able to squeak on in at seed number 30. And here we go into the match. We've got the rolls coming out. Taquito rolling a 48.
The solid United States rolls. Going to be enough for them to at least win it this time, though. So we'll see what order they decide to go for here. I imagine United States usually wanting to pick into second pick or second ban, so would not surprise me to see that happen here.
Yep, just that classic strategy. If you pick second... Oh, they're going to be first pick. Typically, you'd see United States pick second because the strategy of being able to have the final pick before tiebreaker, I think, is one that the United States has traditionally valued, but this time going to be going for the first pick.
Kind of an interesting switch up, but early stage, I suppose, you just want to keep things fresh on your toes, so... Peru getting the option between first and second ban. We'll see what they opt to go for. Second is what it seems like, at the very least. So
I'm very curious to see what Peru decides to pick into this United States team, because you know that United States, they put a lot of their skill into mechanics this year. They made some roster decisions favoring Kama on the team over another player who's more gimmick-oriented. They really want to be good on the mechanics this year, so that's going to be something that they're probably going to want to go for early as well here against Peru. But I'm really curious to see what they're going to try to pick, because their best player, Arnold, very strong on DT, very strong on Hidden, but I'm not too sure about what the other players are going to want to go for.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just pull out comfort bans here, so whatever they don't want to play, it's probably what we're going to be seeing in the United States ban. Wouldn't surprise me all that much to see a Hidden 2 ban, honestly. Just off the fact that, as you said, they definitely are favoring more mechanics with this year's roster than, say, gimmick or low AR. Just so when they go up against South Korea, if they go up against South Korea, they can just kind of stop mechanics and not have to worry too much about the gimmick-oriented pool, which Forum is kind of a legend at. As I say that, Nomad 1 is going to be the first ban for the United States, so there's the comfort ban.
Oh my god, United States and banning Nomad 1, name a better pair. United States, like, I feel like in the last couple of years, they haven't banned Nomad 1 as much, but in the big slot pooling era, when the Nomad 1 was always, like, you know, a very comfortable aim map that was 4 minutes long, United States is banning that one every single round.
And they couldn't have chose a better No Mod 1 to ban. I hate that song.
I still remember we chose this song in pooling. This was a funny choice because it was gonna be like a normal song, and then someone linked this. It was either Chiv or Alden.
I'm never gonna forgive you two. I'm just saying that right now. Hidden won the ban for Peru, so hitting out Hidden kind of surprising, just considering Arnold, the big carry man, and that's Hidden one is kind of a hard map in the pool, so I'm kind of surprised to see them ban it out. But I guess not wanting to deal with the United States skill cap, probably fair enough. So you gets their first pick here.
And I know that Arnold himself isn't necessarily much of a tech player, so maybe that could be a little bit of the logic behind the Hidden 1 ban. I know they are probably going to look towards the Hidden 2 at some point during this match. But yeah, for United States, I mean, I would expect them to just go full force into something like that DT2, maybe something like the No-Mod 2, just get the train rolling on the high mechanics for USA, as they are expected to do for the entire tournament.
I raise you a different option. They'll be saving that for later and instead go for some of the more RNG picks first. We'll see how that plays out for them. At least that's, generally speaking, I think that's how prior USA years have always been. We usually pick the stuff that, we need to test our roster on for the most part. Like, this is mostly a roster test phase, or treated as a roster test phase for these early stages for the most part. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not too sure if it'll be the same this year, but we'll see what they opt to pick for.
I guess if you're going for something like that, Hard Rock 2 might be a good pick for that. Because I feel like for the United States this year, Precision is going to be one of those like flex picks where, it's not as like black and white. You're going to want to pick the high mechanics for sure. But like the Precision, something like Bug Thief, which isn't necessarily even like a straightforward Precision map, that's the type of map where you want to test your roster out for it now, because honestly, that's probably one of the most specialized maps in this round, I would say, testing things like that. And they are going to go for it. Bug Thief, first pick for the United States of this year.
And not too surprising, I think. Like I said, wanting to get some of the more RNG-ish maps out of the way, not having to worry about that sort of biting them later on. Especially picking Precision early on is, generally speaking, a good idea, just because when you have nerves later on, if you have nerves later on, then Precision's going to be that much harder. So just getting it out of the way immediately, usually the best idea or best course of action. I imagine for the United States, probably going to be seeing Takeda, Nabashi, Pez, and Rectagon in for this. Utami also could probably fill in if he wants to, but...
Well, the expectation for USA is that most of their players should be able to play most of the maps in this round of 32 pool. But for Peru, we see 3 players in the lobby so far for them. We see Arnold, Migis, and I saw Mick in a slot until he got off screen. This has been one of the fan favorite customs so far this round.
This map is so good.
In map pool feedback, there has been so much praise for this map. Flask did an absolutely amazing job making this custom.
If you guys have time, you guys need to play this. Like, this map is so good. It's unbelievable how good this map is.
It's rare that we have nominees for like custom of the year in round of 32, but this one is definitely up there. I think even by the end of the tournament, probably will remain in the top 5 for a lot of people. And we're going to see United States fill out their roster. We've got Pez, Kama, Utami, and Dekaten for their first pick of the tournament to go up against Arnold, Katrich, Migis, and Pra for Peru. See how this one goes.
Obviously a star player on Peru, Arnold, but Katrich and Pra have been kind of tearing it up in team-based tournaments, so very interested to see how they would perform on this as well. Let's see how United States' first pick goes for them. A bit more of a toss-up oriented pick, but we'll see what happens, I suppose. fairly consistent in difficulty on this one as well. There's a couple spikes here and there, but for the most part, it's just going to be testing your tech-oriented precision aim.
And as I was mentioning earlier, this feels like such a specialized skill set to see in a round of 32 pool. Combining tech and precision, like, that's not a skill set you see too often when you're playing maps in solo. Very much like a tournament skill set, which is something that I think will favor the United States with their very conditioned roster. We see some accuracy drops coming from the side of Peru in the beginning. Arnold down at 93, 95 for McGeese, 94 for Prod, 95 for K-Trick. They are already down 40k just off of accuracy in the first quarter without any misses.
Struggling to get accustomed to the map. Having the early map nerves. Not too surprising. No misses, though, which is the more important part. Accuracy is going to matter if everyone holds their combo, but that's not going to be the case as McGee finds a miss there.
Accuracies on the United States stellar. 299 still out from Kama and Pez, but there goes Arnold, going to find that drop. Not so good for Peru now. 2 full combos down as McGee finds another break. It's only K-Trick and Pra holding on up against the 4-way of the United States.
Four-way is going to be dropped by Takeden, but Prod trades in response as well as K-Trick. So no FCs battling up against 3. This map is already kind of looking a bit doomed, unfortunately.
Yeah, not a good spot to be in. Down 3 full combos, United States already up by 600k, and we're only 2/3 of the way through the map. I mean, I guess you said this is like something that United States wants to pick early to kind of test their roster on. They're looking pretty good on this right now, still with the 3-way. This has been one of the lower scoring maps in the pool. There goes Kama, though, gonna find the slider break, still at 99, but no longer FCing as Pra continues to find some drops. McGee has recovered his combo for the side of Peru, but it's a 1 million score gap. This is all but a shoo-in at this point.
Saying a double FC on this is definitely good to get the USA hopes up, though. Get their mental up early on in the match. And we'll just see if they can close that out as we get into the ending stages here.
Yeah, the mental aspect.
With that slider, and the rest of this map is fairly straightforward, so we should be seeing a double FC closed out for the USA here. Pretty solid team score from them in general, above 3 million, probably going to be above 3.4 million at the end.
Very good
just
stuff.
Under.
And you mentioned the mental factor for USA. I think that's very important, especially for some of the players in this lobby. Pez didn't play too many maps during the qualifier for the USA, and I know he wasn't happy with one of the scores he got, but getting that FC on the first pick, the Hard Rock Precision for Pez, very good stuff from him to be joined by an FC from Utami as well. And don't look at Kama's score.
You're right, I won't.
Nobody sees anything.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. You don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, Peru kind of just outclassed as a whole on the team-oriented side of that. Not really anything they could do there. Just go next. It was the United States pick, so time to follow it up with something Peru feels confident in.
Yep, K-Trick with the 1 miss, 617k. Good stuff from him, outscoring Decaton on the side of United States, but otherwise, that map was all United States all the way. Never really a doubt on that one.
I wonder if Peru would want to go for something on the more easy side of things. So I'd be kind of not too surprised to see maybe a free mod picked here.
Yeah, you know, when you're a low seed going up against a very high seed, picking the easiest maps in the pool is never a bad idea. Something like Fremod 3 Stellalude could be good for them. Or perhaps a DT1, just something where you know all 4 players on your team are going to be very comfortable at the very least.
Also wouldn't necessarily surprise me to see them potentially pick into Hidden, but yep, it's going to be Fremod. So Fremod won the first pick. Harder star rating wise of the Fremod pool, if I'm remembering correctly, but this is a fairly straightforward, simple map. Mapped by RLC, famed Pretender mapper, back in 2013, I believe.
And I believe this is the second oldest map in the pool behind DT3, if my memory serves me well. This map is AR9 CS4 225 BPM, so it's going to be testing kind of that dense aim if you're playing on the Hidden or the Nomad. But if you're playing Hard Rock, this is probably going to feel really comfortable for you.
Now, we've seen high accuracies across the board, even with Hard Rock on this map. It's very, very comfortable rhythm. Not really anything to trip you up. The ending does spike a bit with some space triples at the end, but outside of that, as you said, mostly just testing your dense aim and your reading aspect.
Oh yeah, and before we get into this match, I'd like to remind everyone in chat that we've got a match going on the B stream as well. If you're interested in Chile versus Spain, that match is also going on. So if you want to get both tabs up to get both matches going, I highly recommend doing that. Don't miss any of the action.
This guy has been infected by NBA League Pass. Don't listen to him.
Hey, I mean, the sports overload, the OSU match overload, it's a great place to be on a Sunday afternoon.
Somehow I really doubt that.
So, I mean, if you don't have any assignments or any work to be doing, I don't think I'd rather be anywhere else.
Nonetheless, finalized roster is going to be coming in. Arnold is obviously probably going to be taking the Hidden for Peru. Taquito as well. Going to be taking the Hidden on the United States. Imagine Pez or Decaden on the Hard Rock. It's going to be Pez. And actually an overmod from Peru, as K-Trip also takes Hidden. We have a Missio on the Hard Rock.
Didn't expect to see a Hidden overmod on this, to be completely honest with you. I thought if we were to see overmod on this, it would be for Hard Rock, but Hidden appears to be a comfort mod for Peru. Gonna be McGee, Misyu, K-Trick, and Arnold for Peru on their first pick to go up against Kate and Taquito, Utami, and Pez. In this very long, consistent map, 3.5 minutes long, one of the longest ones in the normal pool.
Yeah, raw consistency is the name of the game on this pick for the most part. As I said, spike at the end, but it's not going to be mattering all that much. It's mostly going to come down to who misses prior to that. And as of right now, no issues whatsoever from anyone at the moment. Just that slight accuracy advantage as we hold on to 4 SSs from the United States, having no issue whatsoever with accuracy. The overmod aspect was going to come into play for Peru, but Missio's slider breaks. That's going to be giving combo it, and there goes McGee as well. Okay, this is not looking too good for Peru in the early stages here.
Yeah, the Nomad going down is so big for them, even though they're still holding on to FCs on Arnold and K-Trick, both on Hidden. USA is still holding on to that 4-way. They're going to be able to accumulate a pretty big lead here going into the first Ki. Already 100k almost as we get on into it.
We enter the first Ki. If you're going to be seeing drops prior to the ending, it's going to be here as the spacing gets just that more intense. But no one having any issue with this part. Going to be finally dropping the 4-way SS. Utami drops in 100, but still 3 SSs on the side of the United States, including Pez on the Hard Rock. Deca, as soon as I say that, also drops the SS. So the mods are the only SSs remaining right now, combating the 2 full combos on Peru. We're going to need to see some drops from the United States in order for this lead to really shift anywhere.
Yeah, right now it's just really dire for Peru on their own pick, 2/3 of the way in. And Misyu going to be finding a slider break during the slow bridge section. That is not what you want to see for Peru. Still just relying on Arnold and K-Trick, but really they need a break from the US, and there's the first one. Decaden going to go down on the Nomad, but they need more where that's come from.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot more than that, especially with the accuracies that the United States are holding. Score lead is still favoring the United States, but if one of them misses very soon, and it's going to probably change, as I say that, miss you. Also, not really having the greatest of time on the Hard Rock mod here.
You did mention the diff spike at the end of this map. Peru needs to hold through it, and there goes Pez. That's another combo down for USA. No break to match it from Peru, but Arnold is going to find a break on that space triple, and that's probably going to do it for this one, with McGee dropping as well. United States lead now ballooning to 430k plus. Even though Utami goes down and K-Trick goes down, it's just a complete collapse. The only FC on this now going into the ending going to be Taquito on the hidden, and he's still holding on to the SS. Very impressive stuff from him.
Is he going to close it out at the very end here? And we'll find out. Seems likely, and it is going to be the SS from Taquito. Absolutely insane individual performance from him on that. Overall, the United States not having really any weaknesses there. Kaden having an unlucky slider break, but outside of that, 800Ks across the board, if not higher. Just, once again, the United States team depth outclassing Peru there when K-Trick and Arnold doing pretty good, all things considered on that map, but just not having enough backing team support.
And that's really been where USA has drawn a lot of their domination from over the last decade. Just the overall roster depth of every United States team has been something that most countries have not really been able to contend with. And you really just have to fight tooth and nail with your biggest strengths going into them. But for Peru in round of 32, they really need to get on the board now. Down a break point already. United States' second pick coming up.
Kind of interested to see if they want to just test the waters here, or if they want to keep going with stuff that they know they're confident on. So I think any of the DT would be reasonable here, and yep, it's going to be DT3, so bit of the unconventional double time map in the pool. Very old style. A lot of linear aim, a lot of awkward, gimmicky rhythms.
Yeah, this map has been a little bit of a anomaly, I think, in this DT pool compared to, like, say, your typical DT pool. This map is CS5, AR8 base, and you have a lot of awkward rhythms, lots of finger control with some doubles and some short bursts. But ultimately, something that United States should be quite good at. But also Arnold, this is the type of thing that he made his name on back in the day, being a very, very strong old map DT.
I think more than anything, we're going to need to see the United States have some unlucky misses from the entire team. And this is one of the maps where that can happen. This is definitely a hard map to be fairly consistent on, but if Hard Rock 2 is anything to go by, it doesn't seem like the United States really has that much of a problem with that.
And it's funny, we go from the second oldest map in the pool to most certainly the oldest map in the pool. If you see the mapper name as Lesja, then you can be sure that this is going to be older than there are probably viewers in chat who are younger than this map.
There are top players that were born after this map was released.
That's insane. Yeah, let's see. December 2011. So if you're under the age of 13, you're younger than this map.
If you're under the age of 13, please get off Twitch. Please.
Oh yeah, that's probably a TOS violation.
Even if it's not a TOS violation, it's just good. It's just good advice. Please.
Yeah, definitely. All right, it looks like we're going to get into it. United States second pick, Utami, Taquito, Kama, and Decaton to go up against Arnold, K-Trick, Mick, and Miss You for Peru. We can already see the difference in comfort by some of these rosters. K-Trick down at 92 out of the beginning, and Mick finding an early break. While the United States still all four, at least near 99%. But an early break going to come out from Utami, finding a slider break. It's going to be matched by Mick and K-Trick as well, though.
We're going to need to see a few misses from the United States here, I think. Mick and K-Trick not having the best of times on this. unfortunately, doesn't really seem like that's likely. Utami with the early break, but everyone else not having pretty much any issue with this whatsoever.
Yeah, just once again, USA just on a different level in terms of comfort on this map at this point. Arnold is still holding on to his extremely high AC, but Decaton going to be finding a break to trade with Miss You, though.
Just still at 2 FCs to 1, though, and Kamo's holding on to, quite frankly, ridiculous accuracy, as kind of is expected from him on this type of map, granted.
Yeah, Kama might just be one of the best accuracy players I've ever seen, actually. On like high-end finger control stuff, that guy is an absolute monster.
Stuff up. He eats this stuff up. It's actually kind of ridiculous, and unfortunately for Peru, even with those misses from Decaton and Utami, it's just not going to be enough.
They have brought back some of their combos. Everybody holding on to at least 300 for Peru, but United States just, once again, on a different level, a 1.1 million score victory. 3.8 million, 2x100 on this, by the way, is insane and probably will be the highest score on this weekend.
That's so funny, man. I don't even know what you're supposed to say about that. 2 FCs on the side of the United States from Takedo and Kama on that. Arnold as well, repping his own FC, unfortunately. Utami, not too far behind with an 850k. Just overall, once again, we keep saying it, but the United States as a team, kind of cracked.
Oh yeah, I'd like to mention Spain has just broken their 2-match curse of not gaining a single point by taking a point against Chile. Good job, Spain.
Keep it up.
Yep, now United States up 3-0 after their second pick. Peru now picked back in their ballpark. And this is one that they really need to win. If they drop this one, they're going to be back up against the wall with United States' third pick. And United States going to go for hidden too. So awkward aim, low AR going to be what they go for.
This is definitely an Arnold and I think K-Trick pick more than anything else. Peru definitely have historically had some pretty good low AR players, but those are obviously the 2 standout players on this roster, in particular for this type of skill set. And finally, with the low AR pick, we're going to be seeing Bashiman come in for the first time in the United States.
Bashiman has filled that niche of just being the low AR specialist for the team for the last few years. Been very successful at that, and he's going to continue that here now with the first low AR pick of the tournament for him.
I'm interested to see if Decaden actually stays in for this type of map. Not historically known as a low AR hidden player, but he's capable of playing this. I'm kind of surprised not to see Rectigon in, because he's been working really hard on that low AR reading. Maybe they just don't have him, I have no idea.
In passing, I think I saw a Twitch message. I don't think Rectigon is here for this match. He hasn't played a map yet, so perhaps is not there this match.
So we'll see if that plays any factor here. Unless they got 3 of the 4 players that they usually would have for these low AR picks, so.
And I think this is the type of map where Peru, off of good performances from Arnold and K-Trick especially, could get on the board. This is quite long, 3.5 minutes, mostly aim focused. We already see Decaton finding a drop. So this is the type of thing where that low AR consistency is really going to be high value. So if we see some more breaks from USA, I definitely wouldn't write Peru off on this pick. As we see Decaton drop again, Peru will now hold on to the first lead I think they've had this match.
I was just trying to praise Decaden's improvement on low AR. I already jinxed him. He's just not having a fun time right now. He trades one of the misses, which is going to temporarily give the lead back to the United States off in accuracy, but K-Trick is well missing, actually.
Not
Things get a
particularly.
bit interesting there. Sorry.
You're good.
I keep interrupting you.
It happens. Hey, it's round of 32. That's where we get back used to things.
misses from Mistio as well. It's just Arnold holding on to the FC against 3 players on the United States right now. The mainstay AR8 core for the United States. Not really having any issue with this whatsoever.
Nikaten continues to struggle, but as long as Takedo, Utami, and Bashiman can continue to hold on to these high AC FCs, they're going to be all good because, once again, it's Arnold standing alone for Peru.
Halfway through the map, already almost a 300k point lead. Gonna need to see some tragic misses happen here from the United States, which is still possible. It's fairly consistently difficult. And with low AR being as volatile as it might be in some of these streams, Utami almost missing on that. Barely managing to recover there, but dropping a lot of hundreds in the stream part there. But they're going to need more than that. And they're also going to need more misses from people other than Decaden.
Yeah, and McGee trading out that Decaden miss. Just going to nullify any misses that Nikaten do get. So just need any of those full combos to find the drop, but none of those are coming, and Miss You is going to find a drop as well. So
yeah,
even though
is over.
Yeah, K-Trick recovered, but ultimately not going to be enough again. 550k and climbing for United States. It's going to be another dominating performance from them.
I think by far the closest map we've seen. And even then, it's still probably going to be a 1,000,000 score deficit. 3 FCs on this side of the United States. The AR8 hidden core on this for the United States having absolutely no problems whatsoever here. 99% across the board. And Arnold's trying his best, God bless him, but there's only so much you can do when the overall team consistency of the United States is just by far their best strong suit, and they're going to be holding out a 3-way FC on this, aren't they?
Yep.
They're going to be 3-way FCing it. All right. Makes sense.
Incredible. United States does not falter. Decaden does bottom score for the lobby on this one, but it's not going to matter when your 3 teammates are FCing.
And match point out for the United States on their own pick. Let's see what they opt to go for here.
Perhaps another skill set that they want to test could be something like Fremont 2, that CS... I'm not going to say CS5 AR8 because I know that map has different stats than that. I think it might be CS 5.2 AR 8.7 or something. Maybe CS5 with that AR. Otherwise, still have all of the speed left in the pool, have avoided picking it this match against Peru.
Well, they don't have Rekigun or Window Life, and that would probably explain why they haven't gone for it.
Yeah, I mean, those two are just about the centerpiece of their speed roster, so probably don't want to pick that without the two of them.
Wouldn't surprise me that awful much to see a Nomad 3 or Nomad 4 pick here, to be quite honest. Whether or not they'll actually go for it is anyone's guess, but...
I'm not sure about either of those. Nomad 4 is a map that I think has been determined to be one of the most RNG picks in the pool with this one, like, awful space stream in the middle that a lot of people have broken on. But it's going to be the Hard Rock 1. So the high BPM aim mechanics map. I believe the highest star rating in the pool as well. Going to be United States' 3rd pick at match point now. Peru needs a crazy hell of a miracle if they want to come back in this one.
Yeah, this is what the United States stacked their roster for. There are these types of raw mechanics test picks. Could pretty much put any of the 8 players on their roster in for this, and it would make sense. Maybe not Bashiman in the case of this map because of the 215 BPM streams, but pretty much every other player can go in on this and feel comfortable on it. If Peru wants a chance in this, they're going to have to start here.
Yep, and in comes Sasaki for the first time this match for Peru. One of the players who, as aforementioned, helped them get through qualifiers. Doing it now for the HR1 to join McGee, Misyu, and Arnold for a last stand up against Utami, Kama, Pez, and Decadin.
Well, let's see if Peru can make some magic happen here.
They're certainly going to need it with how this match has gone so far. I don't think United States has won a pick for anything less than over 700k. So they're going to need to see some breaks, and they're going to need to hold on to their combos with everything they've got.
As we were mentioning earlier, mechanics test on this map. Some aim scattered here and there. I think the main focus, at least for me when I was playtesting it, was the streams on this map. Big surprise, I know.
You and your 215 BPM bursts.
Man, these aren't even bursts. They're like 32-note streams. What do you mean?
I'll be honest,
I'm
I don't
misremembering. Yeah, no, they're like pretty lengthy. Obviously, these players not having any issue with it, but Saki going to be the first miss on the side of Peru. Not traded by anyone on the USA roster.
Hasaki has stabilized though, and there goes Kama, going to be trading out with Pra. And Hasaki's going to go down again. His accuracy is really struggling down at the 95. But so is Kama's. Both of them down at 95. Lead not too big for United States, only about 100k. This map is on the shorter side, so every combo break is going to matter a lot. Into this intense jump section, Kama going to go down, but it's a three-way break for Peru. Hasaki, Mizu, and Pra all going down. Once again, it's just Arnold standing alone up against a three-way FC from United States. Decadin, Pez, and Utami putting in the work so far.
That's kind of just echoing the same sentiment we had throughout the entire match. It's just this raw team consistency from the United States. You can't even pinpoint an exact player that's been like, yeah, they've been carrying this entire time. It's just everyone. Every single player on their team is just popping off. There's not much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, United States definitely have done their work over the years to kind of get that aura around them that people used to call the USA effect, where going up against the USA, it's just hard to mentally be in it, hard to play your best because you know how deep their roster is, you know how strong they can perform. Perhaps that affecting Peru a little bit today.
We'll be seeing another three-way FC from the United States. It's a question that I think everyone needs answered at this point, since this map and match, unfortunately, is all but said and done. The United States is going to be progressing in the winner's bracket to face off against Turkey, who upset France earlier. There's a three-way FC.
Oh my god.
Just that one note lock pattern from Kama. Outside of that, just raw team consistency, absolutely unmatched. They're 99% across the board. Arnold trying his best. Not much you can do, unfortunately, against three FCs. But they're not out of the tournament quite yet. Peru's first OWC outing not entirely over. They will be going to the losers bracket to face up against France, who lost the earlier match.
That's a really tough matchup to get for round of 16 losers bracket round 1, though. That was crazy upset from Turkey there in that matchup. But yeah, Peru going to have their work cut out for them down there. But for now, it's going to be United States winning their first matchup, moving on into the round of 16. And probably just as many people expected.
Yeah. The reigning champs are the reigning champs for a reason. They're here to showcase just why they've been favored in pretty much every OWC since 2016, I'd say. We don't talk about 2017. Yeah, there's a reason the United States has been this dominant over the past couple of years, and this is why.
Yeah.
Not really much else to say.
Yeah, always dominant in early rounds, and then once late stage comes, their skill cap tends to take over. But yeah, that's going to do it, I think, for the last part of round of 32. We're not going to be rating the B stream because that matchup is close to being over, but you can go over there to check out the potential ending of Chile versus Spain. And the main channel, we are going to be transitioning into the map pool showcase in 20 minutes. So we're going to stay live for that. Just a 20-minute wait. Keep your tab open because round of 16 pool has got some spicy maps in it, so you want to be around for that. But until then, that's going to do it for round of 32. I'd like to thank you all for watching this first week of OWC, and I hope you all enjoyed the matches, and I hope you all enjoy the map pool showcase.
And also, I'm just wanting to look at the future matchups. We still have, obviously, the Chile versus Spain matchup pending right now, but here are your winners bracket matchups. Some pretty interesting ones here, all things considered. Canada versus Poland would be interesting if Ristel was still playing, unfortunately opting to play test this year, but still probably going to be pretty interesting to see how that plays, as Poland definitely was pretty strong against Ukraine, all things considered. I'm looking forward to see if they can keep that magic going against Canada here. Russia versus China as well.
I have Britain versus probably Chile circled. I'm not saying Chile just yet because they haven't won that match, but if things go the way they're going, Britain-Chile was a tiebreaker match last year in losers bracket semifinals where Chile won off of a extremely close tiebreaker, an extremely clutch performance from TFGE. And I know Britain's roster this year, they're going to be searching for revenge in that one, so that's going to be definitely a really cool one. And even Korea-Brazil, like, I know Brazil's missing a lot of players from their previous strong rosters, but that used to be a big rivalry back in like the late 2010s. Like, I think a lot of people will remember a tiebreaker in, I think it was 2017 or something, where Aristia FC'd Fleshbound, and that might have been one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a tournament at that point.
Meanwhile, on the side of the losers bracket, you still got some interesting matches here, as the aforementioned France versus Peru. We were talking about that. You also have some other matchups, though, and I'm pretty sure Miles would want to talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, a matchup I want to talk about here is Taiwan-Malaysia, because Taiwan, a team that also lost a lot of players this year, managed to qualify, I think, against some pretty heavy odds. And Malaysia also playing a really close matchup in round of 32. It was a really, I think it was even winnable for them. That one is a match that I would definitely circle here. Otherwise, all these teams, unfortunately, lost their first week matchup, but going to be going on into losers bracket. Kazakhstan, Ukraine on the bottom there. That is a match that I would circle because both of those two teams, that is such a good matchup. Be there for that one.
Why is that a matchup happening in the losers bracket, man?
It's insane, man.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us, though. We'll see you guys for the map pool showcase, just happening in about 20 minutes.